What's up, guys? Bolt here, bringing you a brand new Fast and Furious car remake. In today's remake, I am bringing you the 1950 Chevrolet Fleetline that Dom drives in the Havana scene in Fate of the Furious. Now, a little bit of a backstory on this car. This car was owned by Dom's cousin Fernando, which was going to have his car towed by the racer known as Raldo. In the end, Dom actually challenged him to a race, and he actually had to use his cousin's car against Ronaldo's car, and he actually wins against Ronaldo, but sadly, in the end, the Fleetline kind of met its end at the end of the race. Using the Cuban NOS, it kind of overheated the engine and it just kind of destroyed it in the process. But there was actually a really happy ending when Dom gave his cousin Fernando his red Impala. It was kind of a really great scene, a really great part of the movie, and just kind of brought the whole family thing together, you know. So this is the Classique Broadway, as you can see here. This is a brand new car. If you guys have not picked this up, again, you do want to pick it up before Thursday. I'll speak about that a little bit later on. But as we're always going to do, we're going to start off with the base price. You want to go to the internet, you want to go up here to the travel and transfer website, you want to go up here to the Legendary Motorworks website, and you want to go down, you want to find yourself the Classique Broadway, part of the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. Now, I do not believe there is a trade price for this thing, but there is a challenge that you need to do. If you get 50 taxi missions done with the taxi job, you actually get the taxi livery, which I will go over in the actual video and show you it. But other than that, the main price is going to be $925,000 for this build. So once you have your car and you have your color, meet us at the Los Santos Customs location. As you can see here, I kind of moved over here in the sun. That way I can get a little bit more sunlight on this vehicle, because probably not going to get too much sunlight when I come outside. It's going to probably be nighttime. But overall, I think the car turned out decent. I wish the engine was a little bit smaller. Wish we had different primary color. Wish we had better rims that could work a little bit better. Remove the bumper, change the exhaust, and possibly remove the mirrors. But other than that, I'm happy with how it turned out. Better than the Rat Rod, Tornado, and all that stuff. So let's go in and customize the beauty, question mark. The Classique Broadway is in the muscle category. Now, if you guys are buying this for performance, you're wasting your time and your money. This thing is not made for performance. It's more of a show car / collection car. It gets beat by the regular taxi that you can buy in game. So let's just say that. But anyways, as I go over all my builds, I go over the overall look, the visual appearance, and the basic design of the car and how it's portrayed in the movie, game, or anywhere else in general itself. Anything I don't go over is completely up to you. I just put a few staples in on my build. If you want to recreate my build or take some things away from my build, you're more than welcome to. But without further ado, let's get into the build. I'm going to let you guys know that I'm going to be building the race build that Dom used, not the build that actually Fernando had, like the actual like side bumpers and everything. You can buy multiple of these, but do make sure you do buy them before Thursday. Otherwise, you'll have to wait until they come back out at the probably end of the DLC, because they're making this car go away again too. So don't ask me why. It's just what they're doing. This is just probably something they're trying out. But anyways, I'm going to be going over the race build like I said, so pretty much all the front end's going to be gone. So you want to go to the bodywork to start off, and you want to go with the Oh My Hot Rod. This is going to remove most of the front area, most of like the front fenders, the bumper, and all that stuff. You're just going to remove all that, and also you don't want to go with the hot rod with trim, because it didn't have the trim on the back end here. You just want to have it nice and clean as possible. So the Oh My Hot Rod is the best option in my personal opinion. From there, move on to the bumpers. You want to go to front bumpers, and you just want to remove that front bumper. You don't want any bumper on there at all. You just want it nice and clean. So just remove that front bumper with the bumper remove. From there, move on to the rear bumpers. Now, there is a few options for this. My best choice for the rear bumper is the bumper bars. It gives less chrome as an option, as well as it kind of makes it more noticeable on the back bumper. Unfortunately, the real life back bumper didn't have a back bumper. There was no back bumper to it, and the exhaust, I believe, was up underneath, so it's a little bit more hidden. So the two best options I would say to go for is either the stock option, which it doesn't stick out too far and it's really cheap, or the bumper bars, which actually makes the back end a little bit more exposed and removes a little bit more chrome than what the main bumper, like this is like one big solid piece of bumper. This is kind of like two bars, and the middle is open, so it kind of shows a little bit more of the actual car and gives a little bit more look to it, in my personal opinion. Anything else is going to be too big or too long. As you can see here, they just stick out, had to way too much to it. So either go with the stock option or the one that I went for, which was the bumper bars. From there, move on to the exhaust. You want to go with the stock exhaust. In my personal opinion, I think these look the best because they don't stick out too far. If you go from the fin chrome exhaust, they kind of stick out too far and they don't look right. The wide chrome tips are also a very viable option. They don't stick out too far and they are kind of hidden underneath the bumper somewhat. So either you can go with the wide chrome tips or the stock exhaust are my two best options. All the other ones are just a little bit too overpowering, a little bit too overbearing. And I mean, like I said, I believe for the most part for this car, the exhaust was up underneath the like back bumper like area. From there, move on to the fenders. You just want to go with the stock fenders. You don't want to put any covers over the rear wheel, as you can see here. You just want to have that nice and open because it was actually exposed like this, so definitely go with the stock fenders. From there, move on to the hood. I went with the dual filter blower. Now, the main reason for this is anything bigger than this, like the heavy filter blower or any bug catcher, didn't have a bug catcher for one, and the heavy filter blower makes the engine bigger. Doing the dual filter blower, it kind of shrinks it down, makes it smaller, so that's the main reason I went for that. From there, move on to the lights. You want to go to headlights. You just want to keep them stock because you don't have any lights anyway, so just keep them stock. No reason buying any extra lights for that. From there, move on to the neon kits. You want to go with neon layout, and you just want to go with none. It was kind of like a work in progress car, so I wouldn't expect it to have neon. It was kind of like bare bone, like he was restoring it type deal. So yeah, I would just go with none. Don't add any neon to it. From there, move on to the livery. I went with the Junkyard Classique livery. Now, you could probably go with the Barn Find, but the main reason I went with the Junkyard Classique, as you can tell, the Junkyard Classique kind of has a lighter kind of livery color to it, as you can see. It just kind of makes it more noticeable. It has a little bit more of like a grayish, like whitish kind of livery to it, mixed with the primary color, as you can see, which I chose. The Barn Find makes it darker, so the main reason I went for the Junkyard Classique is just because it's lighter, and I just think it fits better. Now I'm going to show you guys the taxi one. This is the taxi one you do get if you do the 50 taxi jobs. I mean, minus the front end being missing, but this is the livery you get for it. But yeah, the Junkyard Classique is my best choice for the build because it was a kind of rusty-ish type build. From there, move on to the mirrors. Now, unfortunately, we cannot remove the mirrors. I don't think he had mirrors on his car. So, other than all the other ones that are really big and really bulky and just sticking on the side, I went with the vintage mirrors. The main reason for this is because you can see they're up at the top. They're very small, very subtle, and it kind of gives the illusion or appearance that there is no mirrors on the car. So the vintage mirrors are the best choice in my opinion. From there, move on to the plate. You want to go with the blue and white 3, which I think is the best representation of the plate that was actually in the movie and actually where they're at. And if you can go with a custom plate, the custom plate is P016GA1. Again, that is P016GA1. But for me, unfortunately, I can't do my custom plates or anything, so I'm just going to go with my classic custom plate with the blue and white 3. Same respray for last. We move on to the roof accessories. You just want to go with none. You don't want to add any kind of these like weird like coolers, the vintage or retro. I don't know exactly what these are. You guys can let me know what they are down in the comment section down below. But yeah, you just want to go with none. Keep it nice and clean. After that, move on to the suspension. I went with the stock suspension. The main reason for this is the front mounted radiator. As you can see here, I kind of based it off of that height. The bottom of it right there, as I'm going to put an arrow, is actually lined up with the wheel. The bottom of the actual radiator is actually should be about the same height as the rim. Again, I'm going to put an arrow when I'm trying to point out and everything. But the actual rear, if you actually look at the picture, is about probably competition suspension or so. But as you can see, it lowers the front end way too much. So in my personal opinion, keeping it stock, if not anything more than a lowered, is a little bit too much. So take your pick on what you want to do. I'm just going to keep it stock. From there, we move on to the turbo. Now, this is completely your call. This car is very, very slow. If you want to add a turbo, you can. Now, I mean, it increases your acceleration and everything, and it's a very, very slow car. I'm telling you right now, it's probably one of the slowest in the muscle car category. It's mainly going to be for show / like a car show / like collection type car for Fast and Furious. It's not going to be a racing car. I can tell you that right now for sure. So if you want to add turbo, that's completely your choice. I'm actually going to not add a turbo, mainly because the build in the movie only had like the Cuban NOS. It didn't have like a turbo in it at all. It would be kind of cool if they actually added a kind of boost that it gave you like a short boost, but then like 10 seconds after it blew up. That'd be a little bit reminiscent of the Fate of the Furious scene. But Rockstar's probably thinking more along the lines of like an old style taxi / old style car. So they didn't want to add something like that to it. But for this build, I'm going to add none. Completely your call if you want to add a turbo or not. I did add at one point, but you know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm trying to recreate the build as a replica build, so I'm going to go with none. After that, move on to the visors. You just want to go with none. The visors are more for the long lines of the old style taxi and everything, and like the old style car it was. So I would definitely not add one because in the movie it didn't have one, so don't add one. Just keep it stock. From there, move on to the wheels. You want to go to wheel type. You want to go down here to the street category, and you want to go with the Kraka custom rims. Now, these I think fit the best. There's a few reasons for that. First off, they have the 5-spoke, which I'm going to put an arrow and show you guys. This is the main like styled rim that they actually have on the car. Also, along with that, it also has a chrome lip. Now, it does have a double chrome lip instead of having a singular chrome lip. What I mean by that is if I go up here to the regular muscle category, I go to the stock rims, and then I go to, say, the Azil rims or something along the lines of something that has like a single single kind of chrome lip, kind of like the 5-star. As you can see, it just kind of goes around the outside. It doesn't cover the inside as much. Unfortunately, the Kraka custom rims actually have the chrome around the outside, but as you can see here, the Kraka rims in the muzzle category are all one solid color. They don't have that chrome. That's why I went with the custom street rims of the Kraka custom rim, and I think they turned out really nice. I think they turned out really decent. I wish you could change them up a little bit, but you get the idea of what it's supposed to be. So I think the Kraka custom rims are the best choice for the build. After that, move on to the wheel color. I went with a dark copper. I was thinking along the lines of a gold or possibly a bronze, but kind of like a mixture between the two is a dark copper, and I think it fits really well for the build. From there, move on to the tires. You want to go to tire design. You just want to keep it stock. Didn't have no custom tires, don't worry about adding that. From there, move on to the tire enhancements. You can add bulletproof tires on if you wish. This is GT Online. I can understand that. And if you're willing enough to drive it around not in passive, good luck. For me, I'm just going to keep it standard because, you know, I try to recreate my builds to as close as the real life thing as possible. And I highly doubt he had bulletproof tires on his car, especially when it was like a kind of like work in progress type car. From there, move on to the tire smoke. You just want to go with the white tire smoke. I don't see a point in changing this. It just doesn't fit the build at all. Last for the respray is windows. You just want to go with none. Now, I did put a light smoke on mainly because I wanted to see what the window tint would change to. If it would be changed to clear or just go back to green. The green window tint is a rare color, and it's pretty cool that they gave it to us stock for this thing. And it's honestly the best option because you want it nice and clear. You didn't have no window tint. They strayed away from the window tint after like the 4th or 5th movie. So yeah, just go with none. All right, and I'll see you guys in 2 seconds with a roll steel primer color. All right, and we're back. As you can see, I have my car and my primer rolled steel. Pretty much what I always do for all my builds. That way you know what color I'm going to be doing for the car. Again, it's just going to be an LC color car. I mean, it's not going to be a custom crew color. So I wish we had more matte colors. That's the color I'm going to be using. I'm literally going to be using pretty much the same exact color as I did for my last video. But you want to go down here to the matte section. You want to go down here to the light gray, and you just want to apply the light gray. Then you want to back out, go to your secondary color, go down to the matte section, go down to the light gray, and apply the light gray. And there you go. That'll give that nice color to it. It kind of makes it a little bit more light as well on the actual livery, which is really cool. It makes it a little more reminiscent of the build. Unfortunately, I wish we had a mixture between light gray and ice white, as I said before. Ice white is just too much white, and light gray is just a little too dark. If we had a mixture between the two, they should honestly add more matte colors in. I feel like that's a missed opportunity in my opinion. Or maybe even add worn colors in. That would be even better. But for right now, just the basic color of the light gray and matte is the best choice for the build, in my personal opinion. And no pearlescent on this car either, mainly because when you do a rusty livery, you want to have like a matte color on there, so you don't want it to be shiny. What I mean by that is if I go back to the primary, I go to classic, as you can see, it makes that livery really, really shiny. And you definitely don't want that. If it's rusty, it's not supposed to be shiny. Same thing with metallics, and also same thing with the chameleon. Now, it does look really cool with the chameleon and all that, but if you're trying to recreate the build, you don't want to go with anything that's really shiny. You just want to go with a really dull and lackluster color like a light gray in the matte. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's how you recreate the 1950 Chevrolet Fleetline that Dom drives in the Havana scene in Fate of the Furious. Again, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Other than the rims having a little bit too much chrome in them, the engine being a little bit too big, the back end having a bumper on it, and the exhaust not being as hidden as I was hoping to be. And the mirrors are very subtle, but you know, you could remove the mirrors too. Other than that, I'm extremely happy with how it turned out. It's the best build for this build now. So let's go outside. It's probably gonna be dark outside. All right, so I'm gonna pull over here in the light real quick. Just gotta give you guys a little bit more of a light shot real quick. So there you go. Again, I'm happy with how it turned out. I don't think it turned out that bad. It's a lot better than most, and yeah, I'm extremely proud with how I did my build. Again, thank you to Jacob for giving me the idea. He showed me his car, and I literally saw it, and I'm like, what? No, I don't want to. And I'm like, I got to. This was the winner of the poll that I put up on my channel. The next build you will be seeing will probably be the Need for Speed BMW M3 GTR from Most Wanted. So let's go for a little bit of a drive. Like I said, this thing is not fast at all. The regular taxi, the standard stock taxi that you can buy or you can call and like drive around in, is actually faster than this thing. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. So as always, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down in the comment section down below for what builds you would like to see next after the BMW coming out. And I will definitely let you guys know if I can do them or not. I do not plan on doing any Fast 10 builds as of yet, mainly because I don't have enough screenshots or enough information to back my builds up. You know me, I like to do a little bit of digging, a little bit of background screenshots and pictures and things from the movie. And so far we just have a trailer. I don't really know what all cars are going to be in it, what know, the actual, like I don't have every single angle of every single car, so I can't build certain cars. Also, if you're wondering about the 400Z that I built for the second part of the Fast 10 movie that is supposed to be coming out, that Han's supposed to be driving, I have that built. It is ready. The sad part is I do not know what the title is going to be for the movie or for my video, so I don't really want to make the build right away. I try to get as much information on the builds as I can to help you guys out, to give and show my points of interest when I do my builds. You may see some Fast 10 builds coming out in the near future if I find more information on that, but as of right now, I'm not going to be like everybody else. I'm not going to clickbait it and say Fast 10 build and say whoever drives it, I don't know who's driving it, and you know what it's based on, what it's supposed to be made of, and like I have one picture to work off of. No, that's not easy to do. It's not possible. Some people will do that. Some people will just do that to put a video out and be the first one to do that. But for me, no, I'm not going to do that. I do this for you guys. I do this for a challenge for myself to make builds, and I also do it to have a collection for myself and for you guys that build cars that you want collections of as well. So again, if you guys have not picked up the Classique Broadway, you have until Wednesday to pick it up. Thursday is when the tunables are going to change, and this is when the car is going to be going away. If you do pick this up, by the way, before Tuesday, you get a livery for it, which is called like the lover's livery or something like that, because it's going to be releasing on Valentine's Day, which is Tuesday. Stay tuned for that. If you guys want to check that out, you'll definitely get that for free if you have one of these. If not, then probably not. I'm not sure if you don't have one of these, you get the livery or not, no matter what. But once the hits Thursday, this car's going to be disappearing, and then it will be coming back probably at the end of the DLC. Most likely, if you guys are waiting to buy these cars, once the 50 car garage comes out, you're probably going to be waiting till the end of the DLC. My best guess is the 50 car garage will be releasing at the end of the DLC, you know, after every single car is out. So I'm literally selling cars that I don't use or I have that I do kind of somewhat want to keep just to buy these certain cars. So but yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Links are down in the description below for my Twitter, Discord, and the crew. If you're on PS5, add the crew as your own crew, and then you can join me on there and play with me on there. If you want to chat me up, you can hit me up on Discord or Twitter. Also, if you chat me up on Discord, you can ask questions, request builds, you know, request to do car meets and things like that. There's a plenty of different people on every single gen, whether it's new gen or old gen. Wow, I just ran into like somebody, but it didn't even really damage my car because I have no front end. I don't have to worry about my lights getting knocked out. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the love and support, as always. And I definitely hope to see you guys in the next one. I'll catch you guys later, and I'm out. Peace.